Evaluating expressions. This one's not so bad. Evaluate means find the value of an expression. Right, so sometimes we have different instructions. Sometimes we have like simplify. Sometimes we have solve. Evaluate is another thing that we could ask you to do. Evaluate. All right, so all we're doing is plugging in the numbers and then solving them. So you still need to be able to do this without a calculator, but it's just, multiplication facts. So it says 2x minus 5 when x equals 2. So all we have to do is put in this 2 every time we see an x, right? So I'm going to do it in a different color just so we can see. So I replace this x with a 2, and everything else is the same. Just the x has changed into the number that I gave you. And so then we have 2 times 2, which is 4 minus 5, and then 4 minus 5 is negative 1. Okay, so let's do this one. So we have 2 numbers this time. So we have an x, which turns into a 5. And then we have a 7, which turns into, we have a y that turns into a 2. So we replace the x and the y, and so now we do 4 times 5, which is 20, plus 7 times 2, which is 14, and then we just simplify that. 20 plus 14 is 34. All right, this one, even though there's fractions, it's not that bad, right? So we replace the y with a negative 3, and then we add 2. So everything's the same except for the letter that we changed, the variable that we changed. So 9 divided by negative 3 is negative 3. So don't forget the negative. Plus 2, negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. And then finally, we have this where we can replace all, there's 2 times where we replace m. So we have 4 times 4, plus 1 plus 4 times 4. Plus 6, so we have 16 plus 1 plus 16 plus 6. So you can split this up in 2 if you want. 17 plus 20, 22. And then we get 39. Another thing that we could have done for this is we could have combined like terms. So we could have made this 8m plus 7, and then we could have put in the 4. So 8 times 4 plus 7, 32 plus 7 is 39. Okay, let's do our word problem, write and evaluate expressions. So we're going to get some popcorn. A large bucket of popcorn costs $4. You buy B buckets of popcorn plus $6 in candy. How much did you spend? So we have an expression here. We have $4 times B buckets of popcorn plus just a flat $6. So this is our expression. And now we're going to evaluate it. So we're going to do with 3 buckets. So we have $4 times 3 buckets plus the $6 in candy. Remember, we always multiply before we add. So we have 12 plus 6, so we get $18. So if I bought 3 buckets of candy, I'm spending, if you bought 3 buckets of popcorn, you spent $18 total. So I want you to try 5 and 10 by yourself. Okay, so how much would you spend if you bought 5 buckets? So $4 times 5 buckets plus 6. So what's 4 times 5, Michael?
20.
Yes, 20 plus 6 equals?
26.
Amazing. All right, last one. $4. This person either is obsessed with popcorn or is paying for a lot of people. What's 4 times 10?
40.
Amazing. Plus 6, 46. All right, last one on the sheet, and then we're done. What value of x makes 4x minus 5 equals 12 a true statement? So there's 2 ways to do this problem. We can do guess and check, or we can solve for x. So let's do solve for x first, and then we'll do guess and check. So if I solve for x, I want to get x by itself, right? So I have 4x minus 5 equals 11. We add 5 to both sides. We get 4x equals 16. And then we divide both by 4. So you might have seen this before. It gets us x equals 4. But if you didn't know how to do this, you can literally just guess and check. So let's start with a, right? We plug in a. We get 8 minus 5. That doesn't equal 11. We plug in 3. So 4 times 3 minus 5. That's 12 minus 5. That doesn't equal 11. And then we know that it's c, right? So 4 times 4 equals 16. 16 minus 5 equals 11. So you can just guess and check for that one. Yeah? That's the beauty of having multiple choice. So evaluating expressions, it's really just plugging in new numbers and then calculating it. Okay.